What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Arena of Valor video, and today we are going to be taking a look at a new hotfix, a new patch that was added to the TiMi servers yesterday actually. And yeah, with that new patch we are actually finally up to date with all the other servers like the Taiwan server, at least in terms of balance patches. We still are missing two heroes, of course. Allain is coming soon, I think on the 16th. And Thorne should be following sometime after. So at that point we will be completely juiced up on our servers finally again, after this recent patch was delayed 2 months. But yeah, this patch actually contains quite a bit of changes here, and yeah, we'll just get right into it. Rankbreaker is getting a pretty big nerf here. Now let's take a look at it. The increased armor pierce passive is getting nerfed from 100 plus heroes level times 10, which is 250 at max level, right? At level 15 of your hero. We have it going to 80 plus heroes level times 8, okay? So it is basically a 20% nerf at every stage of the game, 200 at max rank. Now, the thing about this is, I personally think Rankbreaker is hilariously broken for like 3 years already. Every single AD hero goes for a Rankbreaker, every single assassin. Spear of Longinus really isn't too good of an item compared to the Rankbreaker. Rankbreaker gives you more AD, Rankbreaker gives you movement speed, and it gives you the same amount of armor pierce without having to stack it onto the enemies. So that is very juicy. We might see more Spear of Longinus coming out now after this Rankbreaker nerf. Now moving on to Boomstick. Boomstick is also getting a change. So the main item of mages also getting a change along with that Rankbreaker. We have it actually, they list it as a buff, but it's an early game buff, huge buff actually. 50 to 100 base damage, but a late game nerf. 50% HP to 40% HP. Now, this is only a nerf when you have a ton of AP, because that base damage from 50 to 100 is making up a lot of this ratio nerf, even late game. But still, yeah, I'm not sure what to think about this. I think Boomstick is an incredibly strong item in general. Heroes like Raz already abuse it a lot, so we'll see how this plays out, because giving Raz even more wave clear and stuff like that is gonna make him absolutely insane, and he's already insane. But at the same time, we have a lot of mages that struggle, that actually use Boomstick a lot. Meanwhile, we have a hero like D-Rock, which is so completely broken, but he doesn't really use the Boomstick. So it might be good, we'll have to test it out. Definitely will keep you guys updated about that. Now, Phoenix tier is getting another change, and it's actually getting a pretty big buff this time. Of course, after that recent nerf, it was completely useless. No one bought it anymore. It went from 600 to 800 gold. They are reverting this, but at the end of the day, in total, after that previous nerf, this is still going to be a nerf to it. It's still not going to be the same as these last couple patches where it wasn't touched. It's going to 20% HP and 10% mana heal per level, okay? And now the 10% mana is going down from 20%. Now this mana change is actually quite big, because a lot of mages actually use it mainly for mana. So I think Phoenix tier is in a good spot now where you don't have to build it. I personally won't build it ever, I think, because it still delays your build for 600 gold, but it will still be viable for a very hard matchup where you're just losing hard, you're just getting outpoked, and you want some more health, some more safety in the early game. Now, Thorne is getting a huge nerf. I didn't get the chance to play him yet, he's not out on my server yet, so I can't really comment on all of this, but take a look at this, man. You already know when the patch notes for a nerf are larger than, I don't know, man, a book. I mean, it's not that large, but you know, considering he's all about his first skill and everything is getting nerfed on it, yeah, the most notable nerf is Purple Bullet won't be able to do a critical hit on the magic damage, so we'll see how that will turn out. But yeah, as I said, Thorne, I haven't got the chance to test him in a proper game yet, so can't really comment on it too much here, okay? But I think it's good because he's ridiculous, from what I've heard. Now, D-Rock is getting a pretty big nerf, finally, okay? So, his skill 2 added 2 knockback caps per projectile, okay? So you won't be getting knocked around as much anymore, I hope, I believe that's what this says. We will of course have to test it. But what's also getting removed is his passive. His passive is completely getting removed, guys. His mana, you know, when he can't die while he has mana still, it gets used as his HP. That is getting removed, okay? Now, what is getting buffed though is his base HP and his HP growth, so the total HP is just getting buffed on him because he lost that mana passive. But guys, listen, that is a huge nerf, okay? I played Pain against D-Rock today, and let me tell you, I finally had fun in a match of Arena of Valor because I was just completely one-shotting him, and he doesn't have that annoying passive anymore, so he can't be super tanky while still being one of the most broken, longest range mages in the game. So that is a very nice first step to nerfing D-Rock. If you can catch him now, he's gonna die, okay? So that's really good. Now we have some juicy Azenka buffs, okay? Now, long story short on these Azenka buffs, as you can see, range increase on both his first and second ability, knock-up duration, pretty large decrease from 1 to 1.5 seconds on his first ability. That's gonna help him the most, I think. Mana decrease on his ultimate, which was ridiculously large for some reason, 190 mana for an Azenka ult at max level. That's pretty insane. Only gonna be 130 mana, so much more in line now. And they removed the cooldown upon hitting the enemy on his S2, where it reduced the cooldown when you hit on that S2, which I don't really know. I honestly never noticed that. Let's be real, guys. No one plays Azenka. You guys probably never even knew that was a thing. And yeah, I will definitely test him. He might be viable because that knockup seems pretty juicy now. But yeah, I don't think he will be super strong or anything like that. Now, what will be super strong, however, at least from what people have been telling me, is going to be Ilumia. She currently has the highest win rate in in just any game, in just ranked, right? On the Taiwan server, I believe, because that's where we get these statistics usually. And yeah, across all ranks, which is crazy, right? She has like a 60% win rate, which is absolutely insane. And I think it's largely due to them making her easier to play. Now, let's get into those changes. First of all, they're nerfing the damage. They're buffing the base damage on this one at the early ranks, but nerfing the AP ratio, okay? So definitely gonna help her for some wave clear, but still late game and nerf, okay? And now they're also reducing the mana cost on it, and they are changing the way the S1, the empowered S1 works, okay? So before the patch, it used to be on the path you have a CC and a damage compartment, and on the explosion you have a separate CC and damage compartment, and you can hit both if you're good, right? If you push them into it with your S2. Now, what is getting changed about that is basically the explosion was more powerful in terms of damage and CC, and now both of these compartments are going to be the same. So if you can only hit the star on the path, right, the enemy, while the star is traveling through them, then you will be better after this patch, okay? So again, just making her a little bit easier. They're also going to be, that is the big buff, I think, is huge buff on her S2. Basically, you're gonna slow the enemy harder and longer with that S2. You're also gonna increase your own movement speed for more. 50% at max rank is pretty insane. You're gonna be able to kite much easier. And in turn though, they're nerfing the range at which you hit the enemy, and also the range you knock them back, right? So that is a pretty substantial trade-off. However, I think this slow and move speed increase buff is gonna outweigh that. So yeah, I think great changes for Ilumia. And now a huge change, mana is also getting reduced on S2. And now a huge change for the ult, okay? The mana is getting a little bit increased, but not, it's laughable by how much. 10 level 1 and 5 at level 2, and at level 3 it's the same mana cost. But this is insane. 0.1 seconds less of delay time for her ultimate, okay? So how many times have you walked away from a Lumina ult and it is just very barely you just make it out, okay? Now, it might be after this patch that if you don't have a dash or flicker up or are sprinting or something, you won't be able to get away from this ultimate, which would be absolutely crazy, right? We'll see if it's gonna be like that, but that would make Ilumia insanely strong. Now, moving on to Kahlii, which is getting a juicy buff here, okay? We have skill 2 is getting reworked, where you know how it gives you more move speed for the entire duration. Now it's gonna give you that, but also a bonus move speed burst, 30% move speed increase for a second right after you use it. So again, making it easier for Kahlii to kite enemy assassins, enemy tanks, stuff like that, right? So very nice change. In turn, the cooldown is getting a little bit buffed early game, nerfed late game, which shouldn't be an issue though. Definitely a nice change with that 30%. And now the big one, okay? Her ultimate is getting reworked. First of all, people won't be able to stop you from ulting if they CC you now. And also, during your ult, you will be able to use Restore and your 2 abilities, okay? You used to always be able to use Sprint or Flicker, but now you will be able to use everything, except for auto attacks, of course. So that is gonna be absolutely crazy, because now you will be able to use your S2 for that bonus 30% move speed while you're ulting, and you're gonna be able to lay down your S1 and slow the enemies further, and it is gonna be absolutely juicy. Definitely looking forward to testing out Kahlii. I think she's already really strong, and this is, you know, I think there's too many Kahlii buffs right now. This might make her a little bit too strong. Now, we have also a lot of these forgotten mages getting hit here with some nice buffs. Mganga also getting a buff. Now, this is a lot of text here. You can pause and just read it if you guys want to. I won't be reading everything. The essence of it is, though, that across the board, for all of his abilities, the base damage is getting buffed, while the AP ratio is getting nerfed. However, keep in mind, guys, Mganga, no mobility at all. You wanna go a little bit tanky, okay? So nerfing the ratio isn't gonna hurt him too much, but base damage increase is always gonna help him a lot. And the biggest buff here is that his first ability now has 3 charges as opposed to only 2, okay? So with 3 charges, you will be able to toxify the whole battlefield, okay? You have so much AoE with 3 of these S1s. That is gonna be absolutely crazy. Definitely looking forward to this. In turn, his charge cooldown is getting a little bit nerfed, right? So you can't just spam all 3 all the time. Then again, S2 also getting that base damage buff, AP ratio nerf. Meanwhile, ult also getting a similar treatment. However, ult also getting a base damage nerf on the more stacks you have, okay? But what this means is basically you won't have to get 5 stacks to ult for some juicy damage. Now you will be able to just get maybe 3 stacks, and you will still deal a very nice amount of damage with your ult because they buff the base damage. And with that, with the low cooldown of ult, with Devil's Awakening, you can just keep spamming that ult during team fights. And yeah, I definitely think 40% cooldown reduction will be very, very important for Mganga, and it will be a lot of fun to play. I promised you guys a jungle Mganga gameplay. I will finally follow up on that with that new skin, of course. Now, again, one of the forgotten mages, Liliana, getting a buff here, and that is, she is the winner of this patch, I think. That is a huge buff here. Well, everyone is the winner of this patch, honestly. Ilumia, Kahlii, Mganga, and Liliana as well, except for D-Rock, but that's good that he should lose even more. We have a base damage increase by 100 on each rank on her human form S1, okay, on the Shining Light. That is huge because it's going to help her early game wave clear, it's going to help her late game wave clear, going to help her poking. The Boomstick early game buff is also going to help her poke. And as everyone knows, Liliana never needed any help late game. She is completely insane late game, but she is so useless early game. It's really difficult to get to that late game stage. And yeah, definitely very, very juicy change here for Liliana. Her skill 1 in melee form is also getting a change. I think it's an early game damage increase, but late game nerf once again. Again, late game, she is completely fine late game. She's insane late game. She needs only early game love, okay? Again, skill 2 also getting buffed early game, getting buffed all across the board in terms of base damage, that stun of hers, but an AP ratio nerf, again, doesn't really matter. Late game, she is super juiced, and she's gonna be very, very formidable now in the early game as well. And now, this is gonna make a lot of people happy, because Nacroft is getting actually a huge buff from what I've been told. Now, what this says here is basically that his S1 is gonna be smoother to use, okay? You're gonna be able to auto-attack faster after it, all of those good things. And, you know, you have to feel these things in game. I haven't tested it yet, but a lot of people actually told me on my Discord that from servers who already have this patch, that this made Nacroft absolutely crazy, and people are playing a lot of Nacroft now. And yeah, seems like Nacroft definitely received a nice buff here. That is the general consensus, so we will be testing him out as well. Definitely looking forward to that. And with that being said, we're already at the end of this. They fixed some issues here as well, some bugs. I'm not sure if the solo queue versus 5Q ranked bug got fixed. A lot of people are quitting over that. I really hope it did. Usually they don't really say if they fix these things in these patch notes. What also I hope was fixed is the bushes showing people. You know, you can see people inside a bush, which again, when you really shouldn't, right? When you're outside of the bush on the enemy team. So we'll see if those two big issues got changed. Let me know if you still encounter them on the new patch. As I said, it is already live since yesterday. And yeah, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this patch rundown. As I said, we're up to date with all the other servers, so that's really fun. And we will get Allain soon as well. Looking forward to that. Make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss me testing out these changes in the upcoming days. And leave a like if you did enjoy. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace out, boys. Bye-bye.